Hey guys, Mario Cimino here, and welcome to the Private Blog Network Masterclass. This is the introduction or the first video. So in this video and in the course in general, we're going to be covering everything about private blog networks. We're going to be covering how to find expired domains or how to find private blog network domains in general, how to build a private blog network, so how to host it, how to set up the registrar, pretty much everything you need to know to build a private blog network, or even why you want to build one in the first place. So the first thing I want to mention is we do have a Facebook group called PBN Masters. And after you take this course, you should definitely go there. It's link-bound.com/PBN Masters, and it will forward you to the Facebook group. And inside there, we're just talking about how to find domains, how to set them up, how to stay ahead of Google updates, and we're pretty much just all talking about SEO in general. And there's going to be hundreds, if not thousands, of members in there, so you definitely want to join, because any questions you have, not only will I answer, but some of my staff will answer, and also other members will answer. So what is a private blog network? Well, a private blog network, or a PBN, is a set of domains that you or another person owns. So the PBN can consist of free blogs like Tumblr, WordPress, or other Web 2.0s, but in most cases, you're going to see that a PBN, or a private blog network, is made from expired domains. So an expired domain is a domain that was owned by someone else, and it was a live site at one time, but it was forgotten or discontinued. The reason why we use expired domains in the first place is because the previous owners most likely built backlinks or gained them naturally in the past. So the way that an expired domain drops, quote unquote drops, you'll hear this a lot. People will say when the domain drops or when it becomes expired. The way that it works is, let's say that you buy a domain, so joespizzashop.com, and you're active with it for 1 to 10 years, and eventually your business, you decide you don't want to do that business anymore, or you sell it or something, maybe you go out of business, and the domain becomes expired, so you just don't pay for it for that year. So for 1 to 45 days, there's a hold, and this is the option where you can renew it. They'll be emailing you your registrar. So for example, if you registered it at GoDaddy, they'll be emailing you and asking you, hey, here's a reminder, for only $10 you can renew your domain. But most people, if they ignore it, they don't want the domain anymore, they'll just let it go expired, and that happens for 30 days. After it becomes expired, there's going to be a pending delete day, which is 5 days. And after that pending delete, it's then released into the marketplace again and available. So if the domain was, joespizzashop.com, and it was becoming available again, then another Joe's Pizza Shop could register that domain. And the benefits of that is because over the 10 years or over the 3 years, whatever we've had the domain for, we've probably gotten backlinks. Maybe we've gotten backlinks from the Chamber of Commerce. Maybe we've gotten backlinks from other pizza shops. But those backlinks, as you know in SEO, are very powerful. So if we were to pick this domain up or register it again, those domains, those other domains, so the other pizza shops that are pointing to this domain, or the Chamber of Commerce that's pointing to this domain, will still be there. So you're still getting those backlinks. So why would someone create a PBN in the first place? Well, the biggest thing is that you control the content and backlinks. So when you think of controlling the content, the first thing you should think of is that the content is niche specific. So let's use the pizza shop again. If we were to get that domain, it's a pizza shop domain, then we would set up content about pizza. And we would take that domain and we would point it back to our website, which would be known as the money website. So we have niche specific content from another website that also has other niche specific content pointing to it, because remember, it has old backlinks that are then pointing to our website. So if you think about it in tiers. Think about it as the websites that were originally pointing to Joe's Pizza, and then Joe's Pizza pointing to us. And we control the anchor text, so we can make the anchor text exactly what we want. If we want to rank for Pizza Shop Salem, Massachusetts, or Boston, Massachusetts, then we can make the anchor text exactly that. And as you probably know, if you have exact anchor text, you don't want to use it a lot, but if you do have exact anchor text or related anchor text, it's going to help you rank higher in Google. And like I just described with the tiers, you're going to pass all that link juice and authority from those websites that are pointing originally to the expired domain and then the expired domain to your money website or your website. You're going to pass all that link juice and authority to you, which is going to help you rank higher on Google. So creating a private blog network is great because you don't have to do all that outreach, Usually especially in white hat SEO, you hear of link prospecting, so reaching out to people to get backlinks. So sending thousands of emails, hundreds of emails to try and get just one backlink. And the beautiful thing about building a private blog network is you're still creating value to Google. This is where people get in a debate about that this is a black hat method. This is not a black hat method. Listen, this is very important. This is not a black hat method if you do it correctly. And what I mean by correctly is if you're creating value for the visitor who goes to your expired domain or your private blog network domain. So I'm going to bring up the Joe's Pizza example again. If we were to buy that domain, joespizzashop.com, whatever it is, and we just set up really poor content on it and nothing related to pizza, then yeah, it's a strain on Google. It is a strain on the internet. It is just spam. But if we were to create a resource for pizza, so, good content, maybe some recipes on pizza, things like that, then it actually has value. So anybody who's visiting that website can actually get something from the website. So that's where, Google really has this debate, and many people have this debate with private blog networks. But if you're actually creating valuable content for the user, then I think that it is a white hat method because you are going out there and you're creating value for the internet, which is what Google wants its search engines to do, to deliver value to the searcher. So do they really work? Well, there's tons of people talking about it right now, especially Alex Becker at sourcewave.com. He's right here. And I'm going to introduce you to him. Actually, we're going to do sort of an interview with him in the future. And all these guys are definitely doing private blog network to rank their websites, and all of their following is doing it. And there's just tons and tons of results. So do they work? Yes. So why expired domains? Well, I've kind of covered, why you would want one in the first place. It definitely has more authority than a new domain by having existing backlinks and age. So if you were to register a new domain, then, you're not really going to have any of that existing authority like we talked about. That's not going to have any backlinks either. There is cases, you have to think about this, which is kind of funny. Like I did, I registered link-bound.com. And when I registered it, I was thinking that I was registering a new domain. But then once I set up WordPress on it and I set up my website and everything, I threw link-bound.com into Majestic SEO, which I'm going to show you guys as a tool to look at your backlinks. And I saw that it already had like thousands of backlinks built to it, and it was actually all spam backlinks, like pornography and adult and tobacco backlinks and foreign languages pointing to it. And I don't want that, obviously. So I had to do what's called the link detox, and I had to disavow all of those backlinks in Google Webmaster Tools. So it's funny, people will buy domains thinking that they're entirely new or that they haven't been registered before, and then they'll have all these backlinks pointing to them already. That can be good or bad. Maybe you register a domain that has tons of backlinks pointing to it, good ones, but in my case it was bad because I had a bunch of pornography links pointing to my website. Just kind of funny. So it's definitely more authoritative than a Web 2.0 like Tumblr, WordPress, or Blogger. So when you think SEO, just think about link juice. Think about power passing from one property to another. So a Web 2.0 or a Tumblr or a WordPress is a property. Even though it may be like mario.tumblr.com, that's still a property, even though it's a subdomain. It's a piece of real estate on the internet that can have links pointing to other areas. So if we were to get an expired Tumblr, which is something I'm going to talk about in another course, and I'll link you guys to that, you could take that property, that Web 2.0, that Tumblr, and you could point it towards your website. Now, this could be considered a social signal because Web 2.0s are usually considered social, especially like if you had an expired Twitter or an expired Pinterest or an expired Facebook, etc. But domains are definitely more authoritative than Web 2.0s, and they're recognized more by Google, especially the .com or the top-level domains like .com, .net, .org. So we'll talk more about that.